Okay, let's unpack this. I want to start with a visual that is going to seem incredibly cozy, maybe even a little sleepy. But we're going to use it to completely flip your understanding of what intimacy actually is.
That is quite the opener. Cozy but destructive. I like it.
Well, the source material today, it just demands it. So picture this. You're sitting in your favorite armchair. It's the end of a long day. Maybe it's raining outside.
I'm there.
And you have a cat sitting directly on your lap. It's curled up. It's purring. It is literally soaking up your body heat.
Sounds relaxing.
Yeah. Now imagine your spouse or, your best friend, whoever's the most important person in your world, is in the kitchen. They're 10 meters away. Maybe there's even a wall between you.
Yeah.
They're clattering around with dishes.
Okay.
Here is the question our source poses. Who are you actually closer to? The cat that's literally touching your leg, or the person in the other room?
See, on a physics level, if we get out the tape measure, it's the cat.
Right.
The distance is 0.
Exactly. But we're doing a deep dive into a talk by Pastor Hu Zhicong from January 2026, and his answer is essentially, logic is wrong, physics is lying to you, the cat is light years away.
And that is the paradox we're exploring today.
Right, the core theme is closing the distance. And I want to set the stage here. While the source is a sermon, looking at the book of James, what we're really extracting is a framework for human connection. We're looking at why you can be sitting next to someone in a boardroom or lying in bed next to a spouse and feel completely, utterly isolated.
It's the difference between proximity and intimacy, and honestly, this applies just as much to corporate culture as it does to theology.
So help me decode the cat paradox first. Why does the source argue the cat is distant, even when it's physically touching me?
Well, the source references Dr. A.W. Tozer here, a real heavyweight in this kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And the argument centers on nature, with the capital N.
Okay.
Think about the cat. It enjoys your warmth, it likes the shape of your lap, it likes that you scratch behind its ears. But the cat does not share your nature.
It's a species barrier.
Exactly. It's an operating system mismatch. The cat doesn't know you're worried about inflation. It doesn't know you're pondering a career pivot.
Right.
It doesn't understand the concept of a mortgage or the beauty of a symphony. It just knows warmth good.
So it's a relationship based entirely on utility and sensation.
Right. But the person in the kitchen, you share a human nature. You share a language, a consciousness, a capacity for complex emotion and abstract thought. Even if you are shouting at each other across the house or if you haven't spoken all day, you are infinitely closer in reality than you are to the animal on your lap because your natures are compatible.
You're operating on the same frequency, even if the volume is turned down.
That's a great way to put it. And this is where the source pivots to a really heavy concept, which acts as the foundation for the rest of the talk. Sin.
Now, we need to be careful here because usually when people hear sin, they kind of check out, they think of a list of rules.
The naughty list.
The naughty list, yeah. Don't steal, don't lie, don't drink too much.
Precisely. But this source reframes sin in a way that's much more psychological. It frames sin not just as rule-breaking, but as a difference in nature. The argument is that what creates distance between a human and the divine, or even between two humans, isn't just that you made a mistake, it's that your natures have become incompatible.
So let's apply the cat analogy. If I'm sitting in a church pew or I'm sitting in a team meeting nodding my head, but internally I'm full of pride, arrogance, or malice, I'm just the cat.
You're just the cat. You are physically present. You're occupying the seat. You might even be enjoying the warmth of the community or, the salary you get from the company. But you aren't actually with the other party. You can't be because your internal nature is misaligned.
That is a terrifying thought. You could go your whole life thinking you're close to someone or close to God in the source's context just because you show up.
But the source argues that showing up isn't enough if the internal software is corrupted. And here's the kicker. The source points out that we are dangerously casual about this.
Oh, how so?
We tend to laugh off our character flaws.
Oh, totally. I'm just bad with money, or I just have a temper, it's just how I am, or whatever excuse we use.
Right. We treat these deep character flaws like they're just quirky personality traits. But the speaker argues that this casualness is exactly what calcifies the distance. If you treat your pride as a joke, you never fix the alignment issue. You stay the cat.
This leads us to a specific point in the notes that actually made me stop and reread it. It's about how we try to fix this distance. There's a warning about a specific prayer.
Yeah, I know the one.
Lord, make me humble. I mean, I've probably heard that prayed 1,000 times. It sounds like a good thing to ask for. Why on earth is that flagged as dangerous?
It's fascinating, isn't it? It comes down to agency and responsibility. The source argues that asking to be made humble is passive. It's like going to a doctor and saying, knock me out and just do surgery on my personality while I sleep.
Fix me so I don't have to do the hard work of changing myself.
Precisely. It's a desire for a shortcut. The source draws a distinction based on the text. It implies the instruction isn't ask God to humble you. The instruction is usually humble yourself.
Which is infinitely harder.
It's grueling. It means active ownership. It means looking at that difference in nature, your pride, your anger, your greed, and admitting it. The source even uses the imagery of weeping over it.
Yeah.
It's the difference between waiting for a lightning bolt of character development and actually doing the work of apologizing and changing your behavior.
It's like the distance between taking a diet pill and actually getting up at 5 a.m. to run.
Yes.
One is a wish, the other is work.
Exactly. And the dangerous part is that if you ask to be made humble, life might just oblige you. And usually, being forced into humility by circumstance is a lot more painful than choosing it yourself.
Oof. Yeah, I'd rather choose the run than have the heart attack. Okay, I want to move to the centerpiece of this talk. To illustrate what this nature misalignment looks like in the real world, specifically in leadership, the speaker tells a story. And honestly, it plays out like a script for a corporate thriller.
It really does. It's the story of the three elders.
Set the scene for us. This is a case study in organizational toxicity.
So you have a young pastor, he's fresh, maybe 1 or 2 years into the job, he's idealistic, and he runs into a brick wall of toxicity in his leadership team.
Okay.
So he goes to his old mentor, a professor, to vent about these 3 senior elders who are basically running the show and making his life miserable.
And these aren't just generic bad bosses. They represent 3 very specific archetypes of human failure. I feel like everyone listening is going to identify at least one of these people from their own workplace.
They will. The source categorizes them perfectly. Elder number 1 has an issue with money.
This is the greed archetype.
Yes. Financial dishonesty, sticky fingers, lack of integrity. He values profit over principle. Maybe he's skimming, or maybe he's just, hoarding resources. But his nature is defined by greed.
Okay. Then you have elder number 2.
Elder number 2 has an issue with sex.
The lust archetype.
Right. Chaotic relationships, adultery, moral looseness. And in a leadership context, this usually translates to a lack of discipline and impulse control. It creates chaos because his personal life is a wreck, and that bleeds into his decision-making.
And then there is elder number 3, and I think for a lot of our listeners in the corporate world, this is the one that will trigger the biggest reaction. This is the power archetype, but specifically seniority power.
The old guard. This is the guy who tells the young pastor, I am the biggest here.
I am the biggest. Wow.
That's the quote. He demands respect not because he's right or competent or kind, but simply because he has tenure. I am the elder. I've been here 30 years. You listen to me.
It's the I've survived longer than you, so I own you mentality. I think we've all sat in a meeting with that person.
Yes.
The one who shuts down a good idea is to remind everyone they're in charge.
So the young pastor is looking at this Cerberus of leadership greed, lust, and pride, and he's despairing. He asks his mentor, what do I do? How do I fight this? Do I fire them? Do I stage a coup? Do I go to the board?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because I expected the mentor to say, burn it down, get the lawyers.
But he doesn't. He gives him 2 reminders and a strategy. First, he reminds him that the institution exists because people are flawed.
Right.
If everyone was perfect, you wouldn't need a church or a management structure, or HR for that matter.
Fair point.
But the strategy is the key. He says, do not fight them in the mud. Do not play politics with them. Instead, just teach the truth.
That sounds incredibly idealistic, maybe even naive. Just tell the truth and the bad guys will go away. It sounds like a movie trope.
It does sound soft, doesn't it? But the mentor's logic is actually ruthless. He argues that if you shine a bright enough light, if you consistently model and preach high integrity verity, darkness cannot sit comfortably in the room. Oh! It's an incompatible nature.
It goes back to the cat analogy. If the environment becomes one of pure integrity, the people with a nature of corruption won't be able to breathe there.
Exactly. The mentor tells him if they don't change, they will be disciplined by reality. The misalignment will break them.
So, the million-dollar question. Did it work? Or did the young pastor get fired?
The source gives us the epilogue. 3 years later, the mentor visits the young pastor again. He asks, where are those 3 elders? How is the war going? The pastor says they're all gone. All 3 had left the organization.
They ejected themselves.
That's the fascinating part. They weren't necessarily fired in a blaze of glory. The environment of integrity, it became too hostile for their corruption.
Wow.
They couldn't survive in the light, so they had to leave to find the dark again.
That is a fascinating management theory. Instead of forcing people out, you turn up the heat on the culture until the toxic elements naturally evaporate.
It's a self-cleaning oven approach, and the source notes that once they left, the organization grew significantly. The blockage was removed.
Now, the source takes a really interesting historical detour here. We're going from a church dispute to colonial Taiwan.
Yes, this is the AI concept.
Okay, contextualize this for us. Why is a sermon talking about Japanese colonial government surveys?
The speaker uses it to show that these traits, greed, lust, pride, aren't just church problems. They are fundamental human exploits. The source references a study done by the Japanese colonial government when they ruled Taiwan. They wanted to understand the psychological profile of the population so they could control them more effectively.
Manipulation handbook?
Essentially.
Yeah.
And they concluded that the population had 3 main weaknesses, 3 buttons the government could push to make the people compliant.
And let me guess, they sound familiar.
Painfully familiar. The findings were summarized as Aishibe. The first was a love of money.
There's elder number 1,
The second was a fear of death.
which drives self-preservation, lust, grabbing what you can while you're alive. Elder number 2.
And the third was a love of vanity, or face.
And there's elder number 3, pride and status.
Exactly. The source is making the point that these are the default settings of a broken human nature. Whether you're a colonial subject in the 1900s, a pastor in 2026, or a middle manager today, these are the vulnerabilities.
And the source argues we use these to inflate ourselves.
Right. This is the psychology of it. If you don't have genuine substance, if you don't have real authority or closeness, you inflate your ego with vanity. If you don't have genuine security, you hoard money to build a wall. We use these things to create a fake sense of size.
It's the pufferfish strategy.
Yeah.
You look big, but you're mostly air and spikes.
And spikes create distance. You can't hug a pufferfish.
Which brings us to the absolute so what of the episode. Because the source explicitly takes this out of the history books and the church and drops it right into our office cubicles.
It does. It introduces a term that I think is going to stick with our listeners, the old bird.
Lao Niao, the veteran. The old bird is the workplace manifestation of that third elder. It's the person who uses their experience not to help, but to suppress.
I want to get specific here. What are the red flags? If I'm listening to this and worrying I might be an old bird, or if I'm dealing with one, what behaviors are we looking for?
First, look for how they treat the rookies. Are they harsh? Do they mock junior colleagues for not knowing things? The source mentions an attitude of, I know how things work here and you don't, but used as a weapon, not a teaching tool.
Gatekeeping knowledge.
Yes. But the big one, the one the source really highlights, is jealousy.
Oh, that's huge.
When a younger, newer person succeeds or has a great idea, does the old bird feel happy, or do they feel threatened?
The old bird sees a rising star as a spotlight being taken off them. They become a roadblock rather than a mentor because their love of face is being challenged.
It's that scarcity mindset again. If you win, I lose. If you're smart, I look dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that creates massive distance. You cannot have a team, you cannot have closeness if one person is constantly defending their territory against their own allies.
So what is the antidote? If we want to humble ourselves, as the source suggests, and avoid being this toxic veteran, what does the anti-old bird look like?
The source uses a lovely phrase here. It asks us to become a gentle opinion expresser.
Gentle opinion expresser. That sounds deceptively mild.
It does, but think about the confidence that requires. You don't need to shout. You don't need to pull rank. You don't need to say, I've been here 20 years. You just offer your experience as a peer. It asks us to be reliable peers.
It circles back to the golden rule, doesn't it? The source quotes it directly. Do not do to others what you do not want done to you.
And it is more blessed to give than to receive. And I want to emphasize this for the career-focused listeners. In a corporate context, being a giver, sharing credit, sharing knowledge, lifting people up is actually the ultimate power move.
Why?
Because it closes the distance. If you are the person who makes everyone around you better, people want to be close to you. You align your nature with the growth of the team.
Yeah.
If you are the old bird hoarding status, you are just isolating yourself.
It's funny. We started with a cat on a lap,
Yeah.
and we ended up with workplace dynamics. But the thread is unbroken.
It really is. Think about it. You can be the boss sitting in the corner office. That's the lap. You have the position, you have the warmth, you have the title. But if your nature is defined by greed or pride or putting others down, you are alone in that room.
Your team is in the kitchen 10 meters away, and you might as well be on Mars.
That's the tragedy of distance. It has nothing to do with meters. It has everything to do with character alignment.
So here is the challenge for everyone listening today. We talked about the dangerous prayer waiting to be fixed. Don't do that.
Right. Don't wait for a lightning bolt. Do the audit yourself.
Look at your interactions this week. Maybe with your spouse, maybe with your kids, definitely with your colleagues. Are you the old bird? Are you the cat?
Are you physically present but internally operating on a completely different OS of self-preservation?
And if you are, don't wait for the feeling to change. Change the behavior. Humble yourself. Apologize. Share the credit. Close the distance.
Because nobody wants to be the pet that just likes the body heat. We want to be the partner in the other room who actually gets it.
And that is where true closeness, and I'd argue true authority, actually comes from.
Well said.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for swimming with us.
See you next time.